Hello everybody, today I'm here with more than 20 minis that I just recently purchased again from Trollandtoad and Miniaturemarket, ranging from super huge ones like this Goristro to extremely tiny ones like this Homunculus. Stay tuned. So this batch of miniatures has been separated again into 3 small order batches, the middle one being the first one, and then these 2 were ordered at the same time. So I will start with the ones that arrived as the first ones. This batch doesn't look like much, but actually I'm pretty happy with what I got, and some of them will be again used in the campaign I'm running right now, which is the Horde of the Dragon Queen. But let's jump to the miniatures themselves. This one is an extremely tiny one, probably like one of the tiniest miniatures I own. And this is the Azorius Homunculus from the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. I originally wanted this one as a replacement for Nothic in one of my campaigns. The problem is I didn't check the size of the miniature, and this one is way smaller than I need. But he's quite cute, even though fairly useless for me right now. Next one is the Giant Frog from Death Knell edition of miniatures. This one is quite old, and it's the older sculpt of the Giant Frog. It lacks, compared to the newer one, some details, but the other one was just sold out, so I just went for this one. It's not terrible, but yeah, could use a bit more details on the paint job at least. Next one is the Lolsting from the Underdark edition. I had to just do some quick fixes to the paint job because unfortunately her eyes were painted somewhere where you have your mouth, and as well she was just completely black, lacking any details. So I just did very quick dry brushing and as well painted a little bit of gold on her shoulder armor, and drew just a tiny Scorpio over there, and as well edit the hairband just to add a little bit more details over here. Next one is the Catfolk from Archfiend's edition, and this is another fodder that I just would like to use in playing D&D Miniatures board game, because that's one of the things I'm kind of lacking in right now, to having any fodders for the nature faction. This one is a Kuotoa Archpriest from Rage of Demons edition, and I just bought this one as a replacement of a Bullywug because they are both aquatic. The only difference is pretty much the color. Otherwise they all look like 2-legged walking gigantic frogs. I kind of like this one because the expression in the face is like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill you all, I'm totally crazy. This one is from Tyranny of Dragons, and it's the half black Dragon Lord. It's a rare miniature, but I got it extremely cheap, around like $2.50, I believe. So yeah, I just couldn't resist, and again one of the key characters that I need for the campaign. This one is a heroic bronze dragon from Elemental Evil. I'm not particularly fond of the details on the head of the dragon, but I kind of like the metallic paint job that they did over here, even though it's fairly simple. But the reason why I bought this is probably my first metallic dragon. I usually have like the chromatic ones, and this one is total killer in the Dungeons and Dragons miniatures board game. And the last one is an unpainted miniature of a Beholder Zombie from the Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures, and I bought it because it was on a sale. And as soon as I bought one, I just immediately regretted not purchasing 2, because you could easily paint one as a regular Beholder and the other one as the Beholder Zombie. And what I like the most about this one, and can't wait to get this one done, is that you get a bag with the spare eye stalks and 4 different spell effects that you can just paint in different colors. And you can afterwards just easily replace the eye stalks from the miniature, just pull them out and replace them by the eye stalks with the appropriate spell effects, which I find really cool. And I simply couldn't resist purchasing this one. The second batch from miniaturemarket.com isn't that special visually if you take a look there, but there are some really neat miniatures, especially one of them just suddenly became one of my favorite ones. Let's start again the second batch with the smallest one, which is the Homunculus from the Eberron Rising from the last war. It's technically a construct winged dog. It looks just cool and I just again couldn't resist, and I had this one on my wish list for quite some time, so why not? Next one up is the Archer Champion or Commander called Bralani from Dungeons of Dread. It's a rare old miniature and I'm very pleased with the details on this one and the overall paint job, because I will not have to fix anything on this one. The eyes are where they are supposed to be, the amount of details is just right, so I am totally happy with the looks how it is, and I will not have to adjust anything before I put him on the table. Next one is an uncommon miniature from quite recent edition, Fangs and Talons, the Human Wizard, and I was so sad when this one just evaded me when I opened the full booster brick, because this is one of the things that I think is totally perfect for any character playing Human Wizard. Look at the details, there's even like prints in the spell book with the spell he's casting right now, and the overall amount of details is really nice. Again, the eyes are where are they supposed to sit, so I will not have to do any fixes for this miniature. And the translucent effects of the spell looks just amazing. The next one is the Archmage from Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and again another rare miniature, the most expensive of this batch, but I really felt like I need a high-ranking spellcaster. Just in any case, I will need him in my campaign, and as well I already have tried him in the D&D Miniatures board game, and he's an absolute killing machine. And the overall paint job on this one is really good, full of very tiny details. Almost the last one from this one, which comes from the Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus, and the demon's name is Yagnoloth. Again, a miniature I was not very sure if I want to get him, but he was super cheap and I really like the overall stance and look, and as well the bat-winged ears and the spell effect he's carrying. And he's again getting really good stats for the board game, so that's the reason why I have him. And my favorite one from this batch, which is the Yinogu's Hezru. It's already like third sculpt for the Hezru demon, but I like the newest one the best, and this is my favorite one of this batch. I really like the paint job, the dry brushing with the light brown around the spine, and as well the secondary bone or muscle that should move its arms. It looks really menacing, and it's like a crossover between a demon and a werewolf. Really like this one. And if you were wondering where are the big ones, I saved them as the last ones, obviously, because they as well come from the latest ordered batch of the miniatures. Alrighty, the smallest and the cheapest one of the last batch is the Apprentice Wizard from the Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Again, I purchased this one specifically to get like a low-ranking spellcaster like an Apprentice or Acolyte, which I need multiple of in the campaign that I'm right now running, and this one was just perfect for the job. Here is another one, very cheap one. You can get this miniature for less than $2 pretty much anywhere, and it's the Mickey, the Flesh Golem, which is a unique construct. He's not very pretty in particular. It's basically like a crossover between a skeleton, something like a troll or a devil, and it's got bits and pieces of different skin patched on it, and as well like a breathing mask with air tanks on the back and on the chest, which doesn't look that great, but doesn't look too bad either. And again, he was given a stat card for the board game, which is quite handy, so I decided to get this one too. Another super cool looking miniature that I wanted to get but wasn't lucky enough when I was opening the blind booster boxes was the Gitzerai Anarch from the Volo and Mordenkainen's Foes. And this one is a very special miniature because it consists of two sections that you can separate. look at that. You can detach the deflecting arrow shield, and there you have a miniature that stands on its own and looks actually pretty nice. It's a female monk with like translucent pink robe who is standing on bits of wooden floor in a battle pose. And again, you can easily just slot down below here the arrow deflecting shield, so you can decide how you want to display this miniature. I think it's pretty cool idea, and I just again couldn't resist. This huge miniature, which looks like a crossover between a lizard and a centipede, is Berhir, if you don't know it. And this one comes from the Waterdeep dungeon of the Mad Mage. I again got it because it was not too expensive, and I really like the look of this one. Some figures definitely do not deserve the title miniature, because look at the size of this Goristro. It's a huge based demon, and this thing stands over 15 centimeters. It's extremely heavy, and as well it's leaning towards its right hand side, so I need to fix the legs using some hot water. But overall, very decent paint job. I'm really happy with the sculpt, wasn't too expensive either, and I can't wait to put these things against my opponent in the D&D miniature board game. And the last one is the Nolzur's Marvel's Miniatures Gelatinous Cube. Again, I bought it on discount. Its packaging has probably seen better days. As you can see, it's a little bit warped, but I got it for like $4. So yeah, again, something that is pretty much in every second D&D campaign, and I can't wait to paint this one myself. So shall we take a look inside the packaging, because I haven't opened this one and I'm saving it for you and myself. And there we go. So you get the gelatinous cube, which is great. And there's as well some parts that are on the inside in a bag, which I don't seem to be able to pull out. Oh, there we go. So this is the size of the gelatinous cube, which is on a large base, and it's fairly big. And this is the insert that is actually already sort of pre-painted with some translucent bits, and as well some skeletons and shields and stuff like that around. And it has a slot for a medium-sized miniature, so you can without any problem take your character and place it inside the gelatinous cube, and afterwards having it being eaten or swallowed by the gelatinous cube. Yeah, that's definitely gonna work in the campaigns. Cool. So these are all the miniatures that I just recently purchased. If you liked watching the video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment if you feel like, and if you are new over here, please do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. That way you can help it to grow and provide more videos for you. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, take care, and bye bye. And don't forget to have fun with D&D.